In today's video, we're going to be going over this workflow that uses SAM 3.1. And what it's doing is it's taking in this image, and then it is getting an input, which is here sweater, and it's selecting the sweater automatically. So I did not have to make this mask. It automatically masked the sweater for me, and then we are passing it into another workflow, which is just a standard inpainting workflow, and we're giving the prompt pink sweater, and it's automatically putting a pink sweater on our character, which is really crazy. Normally you would need a much bigger model, maybe either Quen or Flux even might be able to do this, or you could just pass it to something like ChatGPT, but this will allow us to do this entire process locally on very little VRAM. We're not even getting outside of 8 gigabytes on this entire workflow. We have a very small checkpoint, which is SAM 3.1, doing the masking, and we have a very small SDXL model. So this should run on just about anything. And I will also show you guys how we can use SAM just by itself. So it should be a lot of fun, and let's hop right into it. As always, the first thing you're going to need to do to get this working is install the right model. And you can grab SAM 3.1 from Hugging Face right at this page, which is the official ComfyUI model directory. And I will of course link it in the description below. And once you download that model, you're going to want to put it inside of your ComfyUI folder in models and checkpoints. And you can see we have SAM 3.1 right there. And just to make our lives easier, I'm going to highly recommend that you download the KJNodes, because that's going to have a lot of features that are very helpful for you guys. So if you just type in KJ inside of your ComfyUI manager, it should come up. And if you don't have ComfyUI Manager, I will link a video that'll show us how we can install it in the description as well. But once you have that, just reboot your server and we're going to be ready to build our workflow. Now that we have everything installed, we can get started, and I will of course link the completed workflow in the description, but I do want to show you guys how we can make it from scratch. The first thing is of course to switch our checkpoint to SAM 3.1 multiplex FP16, and then we can actually get rid of one of these clip text encoders. We're only going to need one for this. And then we can get rid of the latent image, and all three of these, the K-sampler, VAE decode, and save image, can go away. Then we are of course going to need to load in an image. So I'm going to go to image, load image, and I'm going to pull out this cars in street image instead for this project. And then we are going to need to grab the SAM3 detect node, which is going to be an image detection SAM3 detect, and then we're going to connect the model, image, and conditioning, and I'm going to actually take all of this away, so it's just going to be an empty clip text encoder, and then it's putting out a mask, so we're going to probably want to preview that mask, which if we come to image, mask, preview mask, we can get that node right there. And there's actually a better node than that. So I'm going to go over to KJNodes and go to masking, and there's going to be image and mask preview. And I really love this node whenever I'm working with masks, because it'll show us the image and the mask. And without even typing anything in, it's going to select whatever it thinks is most important in that image. So we're going to run that really quick, and that was really fast. We get a highlighted chunk on that car right there. So you can see which car it's selecting, the car right in the middle. So that's pretty much all you need to do. You can put anything you want inside of this, and it should select it on the image as a mask. And of course, you're always going to need to tweak it. Threshold, if you put it lower, it'll select more stuff, and if you put it higher, it's going to be more specific. So like this little dot would probably be selected if we had a lower threshold. However, a lot of times you're going to be expanding the mask when you use it somewhere else, so that's something to keep in mind. You don't always need to get this mask perfect inside of SAM. Then you also have refine iterations, which is going to be more processing power. You can kind of think of that as similar to steps inside of your K-sampler. But suppose we want to select something specific. Like we want to select this white car. I could just type in white car and that should work, but because this is a tutorial, I want to show you some more tools. We can also use these positive and negative coordinates, or we can use a bounding box. So for the bounding box, we can come over to, I actually forgot where the bounding box is, so I'm going to come over to our nodes on this side and just type in bounding box. And there we go, utilities primitive bounding box, so I know where to find it next time, and I can also just drag the bounding box out here. So that's a handy little spot to remember. If you ever forget where something is, you can just click on the nodes library or just tap N. But now that we have this bounding box, we can put an X and Y coordinate. But it's weird to know, like, where is the X coordinate? Like, I would probably want the XY right about here, and then for it to extend over here. But how do we get that? And the best tool I found for this is going to be also inside of KJNodes, experimental and points editor. And this thing is just awesome. If we put it over here, we can drag this image and it's going to have quite a few tools. Number one, I can drag this point around and it'll tell me where that little red dot is. So I could say like, okay, I want a bounding box to start around 172 to 232. So I can do 172 as X. And then if we say I want this to go all the way over here, I can look at the difference. We got 424 and 431. So I'll pull out the calculator and do the math on that really quick. And we get 252 for the width and 109 for the height. And if we wanted to double check where that bounding box is, we can actually use the draw bounding box. So if I type in bounding box once again, we can pull out this draw B boxes, and then we're going to take the image here and we're going to put this bounding box here. And I'm actually going to disable this just so that we can see only the bounding box. And then we are going to need to preview this image. So I'm going to image, and now if we run it, we should see the bounding box right over this car. And that's exactly what we want. We can probably make it a little higher actually. And that looks about perfect. So we can then now put this bounding box into bounding box over here. And that's not the only thing. Theoretically, inside of this, if we hold down Control in our points editor and drag, we can get a bounding box. But this bounding box isn't going to work in this node, unfortunately. But we can also use points. So I can put like a point right here, and then I could drag the positive coordinates to positive coordinates, and now we'll have a point saying, hey, this point is in. And I could also hold down Shift and add another point if I want, or if I hold down Shift and right click, then I'm adding negative points. So I'm saying, hey, these are not white cars, and I'm going to put a negative point on every car. So just hold down Shift, left click for positive points, right click for negative points, and make sure to drag both the positive and negative to the SAM3 detect, and then we can unbypass, and it should be selecting the car. And remember also, we didn't need to do all of this. Like really, we could have just typed in white car. These are just to show you guys some tricks to help you if you're ever struggling to select a specific object for your mask. Maybe there's multiple white cars and it's hard to specify which one you want, or some case like that. But if we click run, it perfectly selects that car. But just to also show you guys, I am going to disable all of these, bypass, and I'm also going to bypass the points editor, and we're going to run this one more time and it'll probably still select the car. And yeah, it gave us the exact same output. But sometimes it will be handy to know how to use these points and how to use bounding boxes. So I will be uploading this specific workflow, which I'm just going to call Basic SAM 3.1 Mask. But now we can actually get into the more interesting things, which is probably what you came here for, which is using this mask to select parts of our images, modify them, and also remove watermarks, which is something I really enjoy. So I'm actually just going to duplicate this tab and close that out, and now I'm going to save this as SAM 3.1 SDXL edit. And for this, I'm going to get rid of this bounding box, And I'm going to get rid of this points editor as well, because we don't really need that. And let's get rid of the preview mask node, because that was more just so that we can see a little bit better what's going on. And I have an image that I want to mess with. This is a character, and maybe we want to change things about this character. And I'm going to show two things. Number one, we're going to change her hair color, and we're also going to change this watermark. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to load in another checkpoint. So go to Model, Loaders, Load Checkpoint, and I'm going to use an inpainting checkpoint this time. And then we're going to copy this clip text encode and paste twice. And one of these, I'm going to delete the text, and that'll be our negative prompt. And then we have our positive prompt, and we change the colors up there. And while we're at it, let's change the color of this one to yellow, just to show that it's different. And then we can copy the clip text encoder, and then we are also going to need a K-sampler, which is going to be in Model, Sampling K-sampler, a VAE decoder, which is Model Latent VAE decode, and lastly, but not leastly, a Save Image node. And then we can just connect everything up. The VAE has to come all the way over here to this VAE, and we connect the conditionings and, of course, the model. And then we need a latent image, but we can't just use a normal latent image, of course. We need to build our latent image off of this image. So I'm going to take all of this and move it down a little bit, and we're going to go to Model, Latent, and we're going to need a VAE encode, but not this VAE encode. We're going to go to Inpaint and VAE encode for inpainting. And this will let us take this VAE. It's important to use the Juggernaut or whatever SDXL model you're using. Use its VAE, not the VAE from SAM. And then we just pull the image to pixels, and we can take the mask from our SAM3 detect to mask. And we can take that to latent image. And then I want to select first her hair. So I'm just going to type in hair on this clip text encode. And then for the prompt in the image generation, the one up there, I'm going to type in blonde hair. Let's make sure I spelled that correctly. Yes. And I'll leave all of these settings the same, and let's generate it and see what happens. And there we go. It replaced her hair with blonde hair. And if we wanted this to look a little bit nicer, I probably would have put messy blonde hair to match this hair a little bit better. And you can also, of course, change the way you're generating inside of the inpainting. But it works. It went from red hair to blonde hair, and you can see the mask is right over her hair, and it went a little bit bigger, so like in some spots here it really doesn't look red, almost it looks a little blonde, but here we have a streak of red hair that didn't get selected. So if we come over, we should probably still see that on her face, and indeed we do, but it doesn't really jump out to you. And we can also take away this Running Hub AI watermark. So all I'm going to do is type in watermark here in the clip text encode. And then I am just going to put in sci-fi background. And then in the negative prompt, I am going to put watermark. And I'm going to give this one a few more steps this time. And let's generate that and see if it takes away that Running Hub AI watermark that's kind of jumping out at us. And there we go. If you look right here, you can see absolutely no watermark, not even really evidence of a watermark. Or I guess if you come really close, you can see it. You could always solve that by increasing the grow mask, but we can see it really selects the watermark well. It picked out where it was just by typing in watermark, and compared to over here, you see it's very clear what it is. And then here, nothing. So if you had, say, a bunch of images and maybe you wanted to automate getting rid of the watermarks on all of them, and the watermarks are in different locations, because obviously if the watermarks are all in the same spot, like if they're all here in the top left corner, we could just put a little box there and inpaint, inpaint, inpaint over them, but sometimes they're not, so you can use SAM3 and just grab the watermarks at every location. So I hope that is helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, please let me know below. SAM3 is also really good for video, so I do intend to do a video on using SAM3 inside of video generation very soon, but for now I just wanted to focus on using it inside of images so you can kind of get it up and running and put it into your own workflows. And of course, this workflow will also be available as a link in the description. And as always, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video.